Ankuma, who also was once a student here and successfully, successfully was able to start his own business, which makes him one of the successful people to help us host tonight's discussion. Brother Fred had an MBA degree from in China. He had published over 5 SSCI journals in business management research, and also he is an active contributor and a publisher on ResearchGate. He's a member of the Huangpu Free Trade Zone Board in Shanghai and a member of Shanghai Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Ankuma is also an operational member of the 5C Group International and Asset Management of Hong Kong. He's also responsible for the investment portfolios in the African region. He's also a proud member of the Shanghai NUGS chapter. So we are glad to have him today hosting us on such a topic. So once again, now I would want to welcome every member here, and I can see Honorable Derek, our Nanjing Vice President, Nanjing President, NUGS-CHINA, who has graced our invitation. We welcome you, Senior Man, and also our awesome members from Shanghai. We thank you. So I'll just leave the floor for Mr. Fred, and I think he's going to speak for about 45 minutes, and after the floor will open for questions and answers. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Fred, you can take us now.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Safars. Do I have to turn on my video?
Sure.
Okay, all right. Okay, is it okay? Hi, good evening, everybody. Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, my name is Fred Nyakonkuma, and then I think just some few people know me. And today is an honor for me to join your monthly discussion and then share some ideas and some experiences with everybody. And then with this topic, I think it will be very, very good if we can make it as practical as possible, because we don't want to focus on so much on things that are not tangible. So I'll push it in terms of, I'll bring out potential questions that will lead to problems, then we'll address it like that, so it can follow like that. And then if anybody has a question, we can talk about it and discuss it. And moreover, we don't have knowledge in just one person's head. Okay, I believe that everybody has piece of the puzzle, so we all can share, because I know most of us have so much knowledge and ideas we can also share. And then yes, so let me start from there, then as we talk more we get to know each other, because we don't have much time. All right, so basically this is a pending topic, and this is an idea that most graduates face. And then I also faced the same issue about 3 years ago, when I was about to graduate. And then now this year is worse, because this year we have a very, very bad situation going on, the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, which has spread all over the world. And then our country, Ghana, has been hit so hard. But currently we don't have real data. Like, we don't have a body or an individual who have gone there to get us real information, so that we can take it and use to make our decisions as graduates, and then potential graduates who are about to, come out of school and go out. Okay, so I want to see if I can help somehow by sharing some very practical information, and then also bringing the reality to light, so that we can all think about it clearly, and then see how our future we can solve this problem together. So let's by looking at the period before the COVID-19, okay, where I call the pre-COVID-19 period, okay. Now I have a couple of questions here. Please, can everybody see my screen? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
okay,
can.
perfect. All right, perfect. So let's look at the pre-COVID-19 period in the society, because I don't need to go through and tell everybody what COVID-19 is, what society is. I believe we all know already, right? So let's look at pre-COVID-19, okay? Now, before this period, we already had some challenges as graduate students and prospective students. In China especially, we focus in China because all our students are currently in China. Now, before you graduate, maybe 6 months or 3 months before you graduate, you have the issue of making decisions, different type of decisions. Now, one of the main decisions that every student wants to make is, okay, when I graduate, do I have to go home and go and look for a job, or do I have to stay and do these bigger jobs? Like, mostly all the Africans, or most Black people from Africa, the opportunities we can get here in China is mostly focused on teaching job. But I wouldn't even call it teaching, because most likely students have to go and play with kids in the classrooms and then be able to make some kind of money every day. But some people are satisfied with it, okay? And I wouldn't say this is a bad idea. This is also a very good idea if it's your interest and if it's something you really want to do. But we all know the requirements we have in China here. You need you need to be native, you need to do this, have these certificates and all these things. You need to have the teaching work visa. Even if you have normal work visa and you want to try to teach, it's kind of dangerous and your life is always at risk. So there's so much risk attached to it, which we all know. So before the pre-COVID-19 period, our lifestyle was in this kind of frame, all right? That we need to take decisions. Some people really wish they can stay, because when they go to Ghana, it will take some time for them to get jobs. Or if you move to another place, it will take some time for you to settle in, get a job, and then do what you actually studied in school. And most graduates prefer to stay and continue their education, not because they need a certificate, but because they still want to maintain some sort of visa and stay in China and then do some few things to be able to survive, waiting for a very rare opportunity to come up. So this is a problem that we face. And this has been occurring every year. It's not just for Africans, or it's not just for Ghanaians. This happens to so many different places, because I know a lot of people from South America face the same issue. A lot of people from Eastern Europe, the Balkan regions, face the same issue. Okay, so this is a problem for everybody. But today we focus on Ghana. Now, this is the lifestyle we had before the COVID-19. Now, the next one we focus on was, what plans did we have, okay, as a student after graduation? Now, when I throw this question, most graduates will say, oh, I want to graduate, and then maybe I want to stay 1 or 2 years, then to work and raise some money and move to somewhere else. Or I want to go back home. Maybe my auntie, my uncle, or somebody I know has some kind of business that I can get myself into it. All right. So this is also the second option most people have. But when you talk to many females, they talk about trying to raise some money, finding somebody to settle with, and then taking life step by step. Okay, this is also another option. But practically, when you look at it, all these options are very, very achievable. Okay, but we ask ourselves, is this what we want in life? Is this the reason why we chose these courses that we are currently studying? To try and graduate and then come out successfully, because we have some students studying engineering, some students studying different international trade, and some studying medicine. We have a lot of different variety of courses we're studying. So are we going to practice what we studied, or are we going to shift to something that we can adapt to just to survive, okay? And then we hope that this is just for this period. Maybe after some time, we're going to change. We don't know, okay? So this is when this question comes up. Why do students prefer to do unpleasant jobs in China after graduation? Okay, now throughout my observation, I don't know about others, okay, I realized that most of our friends and colleagues in China who engage in different types of teaching jobs here, okay, they prefer to teach, but they are not happy or satisfied with these jobs. And this is true. Okay, I don't know if we have people who are happy, who like it, enjoy it, want to do this, like this is their life dream and all that. This is also good, because when you do something you love, that is when you achieve so much success with it. But I can say about 70% of these people are not happy. Okay, they don't like what they are doing. One, the pay is somehow okay. I would not say good. It's okay, because when you do this, you give maybe 15K a month, or at least maybe 20K a month, or some people get 10 or 12K a month. It's okay. They can pay their rent, they can save something, they can do other things and go back for the money and all that. Okay. But when you look at what happens at the workplace, we know how management works in Chinese companies and schools. It's very bad. People are treated very, very bad just because of your skin color. This is a problem we have. Okay. Now, if you're an African, the assumption is that either you are you are not smart. They think we are stupid. Secondly, they think we are unhygienic. Thirdly, they always see us as low. We are lower than normal people. Okay, so we don't deserve the best of the best that they give to other people from other places. And this I disagree with. So because we are not happy, I want to know, why do students still want to stay and do this? Sacrifice all this pain to do something they don't like. And this is the answer. Because we don't have enough opportunities for ourselves back home. And because most people will go back and stay broke. Some people can go back over 5 years, 6 years, they still don't have a job back home. Some people go back home and they fall into a very bad, depressed mood and want to reapply again and come back to China to do another course. This has happened. Okay, so this is the reason why. Now, I pegged these two questions here. Going back home versus staying, and hustling. I put this word here. You know, we have different forms of hustling. Others, I know a lot of our colleagues, they are studying courses like very, very interesting courses, but most of them, they are doing bigger jobs. Like some of them are, teachers, others are doing DJ work, others are doing very, very strange jobs, okay? You know, in China, we have a lot of strangers. You can't even just talk to somebody's son and it's a job for you, that which is good and get paid, all right? So people weigh between this. Should I just put myself in here, do some things and all these things, or should I go back home and then just let me try my luck, okay? This is a big problem. But one of the things that most of our friends and colleagues don't think about is how to assimilate themselves into this society, try so hard, push for the opportunities which is available to other people, irrespective of your color or irrespective of where you come from. You don't care about it. If you keep thinking about your color, you keep thinking about how they see you, you keep restricting yourself, you don't push so hard, then it becomes a problem, okay? Now, the commonest things we all want to do is trading, all right? Everybody can trade. It's very, very easy to do that. But we have different levels of trading, okay? We have the normal one, somebody you buy something, give it to the person and get commission, and all that. This is the simple one, okay? And then we have another level where you establish yourself, you have your own capital, you move goods on your own, and then you set it up there, you distribute, and you come back for more. And we have another level where you go into contractual basis with different industries, business people, okay? You set up your local operations and other operations in different places. You have relationship and contracts with different industries and manufacturers. Around here, you have a large pool of resources. So you move bulk quantity around the world. You don't focus on only Africa. This is very good, but there's also a downside to it, which is the more you bring into our country, is good for you, the individual, the student, but it's bad for our economy back home, because our economy should also send to somewhere, right? So it should be win-win, it shouldn't be only one side, Okay, so our student, we have some of these problems that we are all facing. And then I faced this dilemma too. It was tough actually. Okay, now we come here to the third one. Do the Chinese society accept foreigners, especially blacks, to work in their country? Do you think the Chinese people accept us to work in their country? As maybe like a black man will be the boss of a local company and then will be controlling people and all. Do you think do you think this is possible? I know most people will say no, but I would say yes. Do you know why? The reason why I would say yes is that no, there is this thing about Chinese culture. Maybe some of us have realized this, others haven't. Okay, now they want competence. Okay, most of the things down here, even in the multinational companies down here, all right, their operations, the way they do their things, okay, they have people who are there who don't know what they are doing, okay, but they have the positions, okay, and they make decisions, they keep making trial and error and all that. Everything is very strict. So now, if you belong to this company, you are working, first you start from a certain level, okay, then you work and you show professionality, you keep showing yourself, improving yourself. Now, the bosses themselves will pull you up. Do you know how they are? They like people who add value or add something to their establishment. Now, when they know you are like that, they just need to trust you. When they trust you, they pull you up. They don't care what kind of color you are. And this, I've experienced this over and over again. Okay, right from my final year when I was doing my MBA, I got a company, a New Zealand company that I joined. I started from the low. Then I started watching how things were going on and everything. They were Chinese people that they saw my value. They pulled me up. Then I kept going up. Which is how I saw that it's not just about color. Those who push us down are the ignorant ones. And these ignorant ones, what they do is that they try to use the thought of the traditionally minded people and push it down to their kids. This happened mostly in schools because they make the decision for the training centers and then the schools. So if we keep facing this kind of problems, okay, it's because we keep focusing on the educational sector. But when we focus on other sectors, it's not like that. It's never like that. They like competitiveness. They like somebody who can challenge them, who can bring value, who can push them up all the time. So this is what I've realized, and this is what I've experienced myself, okay? I also had a thought of going back home, but I'm this kind of person where I really want to try to push myself, challenge myself, because, it's a risk. I'm already in it. You see, we have to see ourselves. We are already inside the situation. It's not like we are now going to decide from outside. We're already students. We're already in China. We're about to graduate, okay? You have to make the decision because you are already in the situation. So you have to decide, okay, I'm already here. My advantage is I'm already here. Secondly, I'm exposed to these places. I have a couple of months to complete. Okay, maybe 6 months to finish and go, or even 2-3 months, it's okay. But what do I lose if I decide to try this? You don't lose anything. Okay, this is the good thing. You don't lose anything. You're already inside, so you don't lose anything. So why don't you push yourself in that direction? And somebody will ask me, so how do I push myself? How do I do? You're just saying these things. It sounds like dreams. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how I'm going to, get opportunity to join even a company because maybe my Chinese is not good and all that. My Chinese is also not good. This is the interesting part, right? So it will be like a pipe dream. It's not a pipe dream, okay? Now, one of the very practical ways to get around this is to expand your social circle, okay? Don't put yourself all in one corner, all right? Because you already have students who are your friends. You already meet them in class. You already meet them in the dorm. You already meet them in social activities inside campus. So your life is just within this very, very small arena, okay? Now, open up to the bigger world. Shanghai is a commercial center. It's a finance center, all right? You have to open up very big. Open yourself up. Attend social events, okay? If you have time, you can pick up your laptop. You want to read something, go to a public area, a coffee shop, all right? Go to a library, public library. Go to a public place. You can, a lot of places, a lot of people are there. Just have a seat, okay? Read a book, relax, see people, socialize, open up. This is how you meet the right people. You don't have to speak Chinese like a native, or you don't have to, just open up and talk, have conversation, because this is 101 marketing idea. That is how people used to know people. Expand your social circle. If there's a program, all right, there's a boot sales, there's something going on and all that. Don't stay in your room every day watching series, watching movies, watching news, arguing, following this negative thought and all the time. Open up your social circle. Try to meet people randomly. When you go to a place, don't wait for people to come to talk to you first. I know most of us are very conservative. We are like that. We want to go, oh, I don't know this person. What if when I talk to him or her, he doesn't mind me, or he treats me like I'm trash and all that? It doesn't matter. We are all shy. Sometimes you'll be lucky, sometimes you won't. But this kind of situation doesn't happen here, because when you go to the center of the city where the real people are, you're going to meet people who are going to open up and become friends. All you have to do is to be friends with them, scan and have their WeChat contact. That's all. Invite a person for coffee. Sit down, discuss, talk about your courses, talk about different things, talk about your ambition. You know, you're pushing your idea into his head, all right, or her head. This is how to do it. This is not magic, okay? And through some of these things, I've met a lot of people, okay? The vice consulate of the American embassy, I met him through this. Okay, he says somewhere he reads and all these things, and I say somewhere and all that. We are now friends. We've been friends for almost 9 months now. I met the deputy manager of the Swiss Center. It's a Swiss Chamber of Commerce where they host a lot of companies from Europe and all that. And through this, I've expanded my circle. I've had a lot of resources from them. The 5C group have a lot of different groups under them. We have the chairman of Bank of China there. Okay, I can share our 5C group website here when you have time. You can check it out. 5C group capital, okay? I'll put it in your group. Yeah, I'll put it there. This is the website, www.5cgroupcapital.com, okay? When you go there, you can click the, it's in Chinese, but you can click the English version on the right corner there. And then go to About Us. When you go to About Us, you see all the management board members there. A lot, okay, from different regions. And you can see me there. How did I get here? Not because I can speak Chinese like a native. My Chinese is, your Chinese is better than mine. Yeah, but this is how it works. Socialize, expand your social circle. And then you meet a lot of people. This is how to start, okay? But it's not too late. We still have some time. I mean, Shanghai has opened up now. I know now on campus, they allow people to go out maybe once a week, or some campuses are like that. I know about Shanghai University, but some places you can go out, you find an excuse and go out and go and do whatever. You can say whatever. You are trying to secure your future, remember? So try to meet the right people, okay? Teaching is not enough. If we have ambition, we want to do this, we should try and open up, okay? Because look, Africa, just look at the next one. I know we have pride, and we want to protect it all the time. Just like the lion, the pride of Africa is the lion. And our pride must be protected. People are trashing us all the time that we are this, we are that, we are that. We don't like it. They said, oh, all we do is that we come and teach their children, and then they give us some money, and then we walk away and all that. No! We need to meet the right people, because we are better. Yes, this is what I believe. I believe we are better because we have a lot of educated people here. We are more even educated than most of these Chinese people here. I know a lot of people who are studying, who are working here in Shanghai. I have a lot of partners. Some of them just finished high school. Others just have first degree. Most of us, the blacks here, okay, the African people here, we are doing either master's, PhD. Some people are doing their doctorate degrees. We are highly educated. So why are we still going down? This is the problem. Our pride must be protected. And then look at this. I also have another question. Do our economies back home support us, or why we are not responding to the call if they need us? Okay, our economy back home, all right, in the last 10 years, 15 years, okay, we had serious brain drain. Okay, but now most people are highly educated in Ghana. We don't have lack of human resources in Ghana or in Africa. We don't have that now. What we have is a system, a policy that can support us. This is what I believe. We don't have lack of human resources. People are highly educated back in Ghana and in Africa as a whole. So we don't have that problem. We don't have it at all. Okay, now let's push to this. Now let's look at life after graduation. And with this, I have real facts that I want to share with you. Okay, now life after graduation and what you do during the pandemic. Now we started from the pre-pandemic period in society. Okay, now we are in the period now. So in the period, we can't do anything. We are just dormant, right? Most of us watch a lot of TV, a lot of series, a lot of movies, read a lot of books. But it's time where we have to start focusing. After the pandemic, what do we do? Okay, because we're going to graduate. I don't want to throw my life away. I want to do something. I have to try. The risk is I may delay, but it's not costing me. It is not going to cost me my life. You try, then you want to go somewhere. Something may delay you. You may fall, but you need to rise up. Okay? It doesn't mean that trying makes you somebody lower than that. Some people want it easy, but you have to be very brave and sacrifice. The same way most of our colleagues in the past sacrificed that, okay, they decided, let me finish school, let me try to do teaching, waiting for opportunity to come up, then I can grab it. Okay, that is also a risk. And then they just realize 5 years is gone, still no opportunity. What they started, they're not doing it. Okay, in that way, you don't have a clear career path. Okay, unless you can raise a lot of capital, go back home and do something. Otherwise, your career is automatically doomed. Okay, so now let's look at this, the problem which the world is facing currently. Okay, now let me get information from Lamont Law. All right, Lamont Law is a Canadian law firm. All right, and they look at employment contract. Okay, now during this period, a lot of complication came in terms of insurance, unemployment insurance backup, employment contract, okay? How companies are going to fulfill it because they have to follow a lot of people because they don't have the money. It's not your fault you have to be followed. Now, if they're going to push you, as I said, okay, you should go home because we don't have money and all that, you have the right to sue them, all right? But you have to know that this period, when you even sue them, you end up losing up. Okay, so people who are already in professional and official, or we can call it formal career capacities, have been laid off. Formal, when I say formal, I'm referring to those who are in position, like for example, who is working for like a big company, has a real good contract, has all the sureties to protect himself and his future and his family. Okay, they were laid off. Everybody was laid off. Okay, they were laid off. And why did this happen? Because of COVID-19. Now look at what Lamont released a report about layoffs, about reduction in hours of work, about work sharing program. They introduced a work sharing program because there are workers who were not able to put themselves in a situation where they have to go home and do nothing. They share the hours for them because the company they can't work. They don't have the time to work and all that. They have to stay home. So they released this one, and then the Canadian emergency response benefit. Okay. Now, when I look at this report, I read that this report applied to most of all the companies in the world. Okay. So this is what happened. I will share this information for us because I really love reading. So I wish that I can share a lot of information for us to read. Okay. And this will help us to think about decision making. Now, I introduced this information because I want us to know the reality that even those who are in formal employment opportunities, they are losing it. And then once they lose it, they become unemployed. Now we are now graduating. Okay, you are now graduating to go home, or maybe you graduate next year or December. Okay, now you are now going to graduate. You have to look for a job. You have to successfully get employed. Then you successfully start earning. This opportunity is not there in 2020, and it will not be there for the next 3 to 4 years. This is the reality. For the next 3 to 4 years, even it will extend to 5 years, this opportunity will not be there, that companies are going to hire people who are skilled in certain labor. Because these are the reasons. One, the revenues that the companies were making is no more the same. Okay. Two, they are going to take stimulus packages from different banks and different governments to try to put themselves up again. Okay. Now, for them to expand, they need to start growing. The growing period is no more at the moment. Now we only have the survival period. Okay, they need to survive. And when companies are surviving, they restructure, or we call something brand positioning. They have to reposition themselves, okay, against future uncertainties. Okay, so with this one, you can see the picture is very bleak for those new graduates who are coming in. It's not only your year group or your batch, like 2020 batch, which is going to be affected. This is going to affect 2021, 2022, 2023. All the skilled labor, it will be very difficult to roll them into the job market. So you ask yourself, do I want to graduate and go back home and be a problem because I don't have a job? Or do I want to graduate and start something to help myself? Okay, this is also another question we ask ourselves. Or do I want to really take the risk now to try to do something to secure my future? Because you have nothing to lose, actually. In this period, you have nothing to lose because the situation has already hit you. Okay, so you only have to try something for something to work for you. In order to do that, you have to be positive about it. And all these things sounds it sounds nice, right? It sounds very sweet in the ear. Oh, why don't I try something everybody's doing? It's not as easy as we're saying it. Because let me share my story with you, okay? Now, when I was about to graduate, I already had a place that I was working with this New Zealand company. And I think I tried so hard for them to pull me up, and they did. They tried to pull me up. They tried to put me in the arena, and I was very, very happy about it. I went so far with them, but I asked myself, is this what I want? Because I'm naturally very ambitious, okay? And naturally, I also want to have something for myself. I want to control my own time. I have a target and ambition for myself. So I said, okay, why don't I try to take an advantage of this? Because I'm somebody who can also do this. Everything this company is doing, I can do that and I do more. And they saw the value in that because you're showing yourself. And I'm not the only one that I can talk about. I have a lot of different friends, Blacks like myself, who have ascended in different companies. Not teaching, not education, teaching. No, they have because they prove themselves and they see the value in them. This is what they want. Once they see you are valuable, they don't care about. Even if your color is blue, you are alien, nobody cares because you are bringing them money. And here in this land, money is God. We all know it. There is a living God for money. So if they value, you're adding value to their company, you are very important to them. They don't care about what color you are, where you come from. Nobody cares about it. All right. So this is what I realized. Now, let me share with you. When I was there, I wanted to start something on myself. And I had a lot of struggle with my previous employers because they were not going to let me walk away. So they intentionally brought a long-term contract. Now, if I'm going to sign a long-term contract, it means I'm assuring them, or I'm showing them that, okay, I want to stick with you. I believe in your project and all that. But at the same time, I'm also digging a hole for myself because I'm going to work on I'm going to stay on the visa and all that. And if I want to change, I need some documentation from that. This is going to be very hard. So I had to renegotiate. Said, okay, let me do like 2 years with you. Okay. After the 2 years, we see how we go with each other and see how we're going to go. Then I made it very clear to my boss that, look, I want to also create something for myself. Okay. I'm not saying I want to walk away from you. I want to create something for myself. So let's negotiate. Of course, whatever you want, I can be supported to whatever project you are doing. And they understood it clearly. But in the end, they were not happy to just part ways like that. Yes, it became a struggle. All right. It was a hassle for me to just get through and get a document to switch. Before I started my own company, it was a hard thing for me to do. Then I met the 5C group. I joined the 5C group. We did a lot of projects in Kenya. We did a lot of projects in Malaysia. We've done a lot of projects in Singapore, all through my initiative. It's not like I did some magic. It's the social circle that I met, because I keep expanding my social circle. I realize this is working. I meet people you cannot even imagine who want to push you so far. So this thing really works. You should just try to expand your social circle. Don't just limit it to only your colleagues or the people you know now. You should expand it. Meet people randomly. You should attend exhibitions, conferences, even if you're not invited, or coffee shops, or you sit in a place, a library, you read. You sit down with your pad or your tab, or you sit down and you read. You meet people, talk to them, try to explore what they are doing. Try it. That's how you expand it. And this is the reality. And this is how marketers do it. Insurance marketers, job hunters, headhunters, all these things. This is how they do it. Now let's look at something from the World Economic Forum. There's a report that was released 14th May, all right, about unemployment. Now they focus on unemployment in the United States, and they compared the ratio with what is going on in the world. Okay, I believe we all know the death toll in the United States now is past 100,000 just today, no, just yesterday night, all right? And then the unemployment rate is between like 35% of the total population, which is very high, is very, very high, okay? So now, when they look at this and they can see the economy is contracting, all right? So they use a model to compare what is happening in the world. Now, my focus is in Africa now. Now let's look at Africa. Africa before the pandemic, okay, our economy was not doing too good, except maybe Ghana, among the top 10 highest growing economies in the world. Ghana was in the top 10, and our economy was growing at a rate of, let me see, I think the last time was 3%, right? That's how we were trying to grow, which is very, very good. Okay, and the 3% was not directly linked to foreign aid or to, I mean, it's locally generated growth. It means we are growing, okay, and it's good for us. And we increase comparing to the African countries. I think we're doing very well. And when you look at what happened in 2019, we were doing very, very well in Ghana. But now we don't have the reports yet about exactly what is going on. But we all know it's not good. Okay, so now with this, recovery will take time, okay? Employment is automatically close to new people coming in. More unemployment is going to be added. Now, it's going to lead to social complications. A lot of things are going to happen back home. It's not only in Ghana, everywhere. Okay, people are not happy, they don't have job, they don't have food, they cannot live the standard of living they want to live. They cannot buy. Retailers are trying to struggle. Banks are not so easy with giving the money, unlike this one. So automatically people are going to go through some hard time, and it's going to go on for between 3, 4, 5 years. So now, why don't we think differently? Okay, try to do something for ourselves and look at how it's going to go. Now, this is what they said. World Economic Forum, 14th May 2020, they said 2.9 million. Wait, is that, yeah. They said the US April unemployment rate has risen to a record 14.7%. Just 1 month, it rose from 0 to 14.7% in a month, okay? Now, with this one, they said it was more than 20 million jobs lost just in a month. Just 1 month, 20 million. So it means when this continues, now 20 million as of April, this month they are around 30-something million people, okay? So if it continues, they are losing. They're just losing jobs. This is US, a whole giant, okay, that they can do a lot of things and then make things, good for themselves. Now, let's look at Africa, compare. Look at ourselves. Africa, we are trying to open up ourselves here, okay? We are trying to do something for ourselves. And then, okay, yeah, I just put the email, the address. Yes, I put the reports there. You can see it from the World Economic Forum. So you can read it for yourself. And Africa, we are trying to develop ourselves. We base everything on aid. The people giving us the aid, they are also in trouble. The people who are going to help us to balance our checks, our economy, balance our budget and everything, they are in trouble. So how are we going to deal with this? The next 3-4 years, our economy, how are we going to draw up our budget? But I see a positive thing in this, because out of chaos comes an opportunity. Okay. Now, when you look at every economic indicators, the history of economics, okay, no economy has risen out of aid. Aid actually suppresses your economy, because when you have aid to balance your economy, you are not innovative, you are not creative. There's always a deficit in your economy, because you're always taking aid to put that gap there. Okay, just for 12 months. So the aid comes 1 year, you put it there. The next year, if the aid changes or the people change their mind, they don't give you, you still have negative deficit. You're going to look for aid again to put it there. Why don't we create something? Why don't we continue to enjoy, maybe go through the pain of 2-year, 3-year negative or deficit budget? Then while we are using that money to create something, employment, job, or develop something for ourselves, then after that, we solve this problem permanently. This is what Singapore did. This is what Malaysia did. This is what South Korea did. After independence, 1957, we all had similar. Even Ghana was better than most of these countries. Singapore, South Korea, Malaysia, Hong Kong, all these places, Ghana was far, far better than them. But now compare, they are here and we are here because we just focus so much on aid. We have to be more entrepreneurial, okay? So looking at this, I think I can't read it, but I've shared the link in your listing, so you can just look at this report and see how it's going. All right. Now, let me look at International Labour Organization. Okay, the prediction they predicted about labor for ourselves. This is the reality. This is what we're going to face. Now we can't see it, but this is what is going to happen. Doors are going to be closed. It doesn't matter if you know a politician, you know a big man, you know a company. They are also in trouble because of COVID-19. Okay, somebody promised you or say, okay, go to school. When you finish, come and work for my company, come and work for my, but this pandemic was unprecedented. So this has put a very dark cloud on how we are going to move forward, especially with the students who are going to join the labor force. Because education is very good, but education, you must use it somehow. Okay, now, this is the policy framework International Labour Organization introduced to solve this problem. And this is also an advice for us, the graduating students who are coming up. I will share this report with everybody. So when you look at the chart area of this group, you can see I'll share the links with you. Okay, and this is the reality. Now, first of all, in 18th May, okay, they released a report about understanding how the crisis affects the labor market. And there's a long report about that. It's very detailed. I'll be happy if we can take a look at it, okay, and compare it with ourselves. Now, let me focus on women first. Women, they said women who hold 70% of jobs in the health, social sectors, and other places are therefore often on the front line, okay, responses. These people, look at how it's going to affect them. Now, during this pandemic, we have a very, very high demand for medical personnel, right? Or social workers, okay? It has increased, people have adapted, but this crisis is going to go down, okay? And then we have a lot of people in that sector. Now, this is what is going to happen to them. Most of them are going to be put on either temporal, what do you call it? What's the word they use? A reserve list. All right, they're going to be put on the reserve list because you don't need so much. The budgets don't need to be pumped there again. Now they're going to put money in trying to find a person. And 1,000 or 2,000 or 30,000 people who were already sick, that they needed a lot of people to take care of them, they're going to withdraw that money. So those people are already healed and they are recovered and gone home. Okay, so this is going to shrink immediately. Now, the next one, they said informal economy workers, casual and temporary workers, workers in new forms of employment, including those in gig and economy. Okay, gig, like you do something like maybe you work in a bar, or you work as a laborer, or you work at, these people are going to be affected. And I think we all know already. So, right, we all know. Now, this is where this consensus. Young workers whose employment prospects are more sensitive to fluctuations in demand. So young workers are like ourselves, okay? We'll be more employed if our services are demanded when we graduate. Now, our services they are not demanded. Because those who are already in there, they are losing their jobs. So once they've lost it, then we become a problem. And now, older workers, those who are supposed to retire, okay? Those who are supposed to retire, because every year we have a percentage of the workforce that retires, they are going to be extended. You know why? Because this is a recovery period. They don't need new, okay, inexperienced people to come in. Now you're going to learn on the job, try to adapt and all that for them to have a recovery. They don't need that. This is the reality. They need those who are already experienced to share their experience to help the recovery. And those people, they can renegotiate contracts with them, okay, for them to stay maybe 2 or 3 years more, just to help to bring the companies up. This is the economies. If we try to sustain it. So when you look at this, everything is against those who are graduating, who are joining the new workforce. You see, all these things are against us, all right? Now, let's look at refugees. Okay, refugees and migrants, it doesn't concern us, but this concerns me too. Micro entrepreneurs, okay, and the self-employed, okay? I wish all of us can be micro entrepreneurs, or we can all be self-employed. Now, this is how it's going to affect us. It's going to affect us in terms of accessing capital. It's true. These things don't happen like magic, okay? But our advantage as people who are already in China is you don't need much capital to grow your own business. This is what is happening in China. You don't need much capital to grow your business. We all know it, okay? You don't need much capital to grow your business, okay? So this is positive for us. And then the economy here is structured in such a way that if you are smart and you can access things that are available to us, you can open yourself up for a whole lot of good things to come to you. And this is the reality. Now, the dilemma of going back home, we leave it to people. We leave it to you to decide yourself. But I will just give you the real fact. This is the information on the ground. This is what we're going through. This is the reality. So what do you want to do? Think about it. Think about your future compared to the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Look at what is going on. Do I want to join the wagon where we're going to look for jobs and try to do this? Or do I want to start something, take the risk and start something? Or do I want to do the two of them at the same time? Yes, you can. You can do the two of them at the same time, of course. But do I have the will to drive myself forward even when I'm down? This question is left to us, okay, to decide. Now, now there are 4 policies that was released by the ILO, International Labour Organization, to help support this. The first one, we call it, there are 4 pillars. The first one, we call it stimulating the economy and employment. This is the advice that was given for the policies for countries to adapt to help this employment problem, okay? The first one, it says they have to have active fiscal policy. Now, active fiscal policy means that the whole year, the budget that will be made available to do things related to expanding the economy and growing it, okay? It has to be active. It means that you have to keep on continuously monitoring, evaluating, and changing and adapting. It shouldn't be very fixed. You know, in our country, in Ghana, when we read the budget for the year, it's very fixed. They read it in parliament. It's fixed just like that. So the next year, they come and read the result. You can see that the policy was not adapted based on the situation. Because when you look at the macroeconomic indicators, they keep changing every day. Things keep changing every single day. The economy keep doing like this. The economy is never stagnant. So we have a problem in the fiscal policies that is released. Now we are looking for active fiscal policies that will be released with the government. We have to be flexible. They have to be flexible. It means that when they have money here, okay, for example, they have money in something like sports. They have a lot of money put in sports. Now, when we see that in this situation, sports doesn't need money, you have to extract and redirect, okay, to something else. It means you are adapting, trying to grow this one. When other sectors, maybe they have put money in entertainment or miscellaneous or government expenditure in something which is not needed. You have to be active and pull money and put it there. So this advice is for the government. So if our government can do that, then it will help us. They also have to have the accommodative monetary policy. Okay, we have to accommodate new monetary policy. You have to open it up to the society, the experts, to be able to give wonderful ideas, policies. The bank must contribute to it because the banks are the ones who disperse government monetary policies. Now, lending and financial support to specific sectors, including the health. This one, I know in our country is very difficult. You cannot just walk to the bank and say, oh, support me with loans and all that, but the government must find a way to enforce it, to create jobs. Now, the second pillar, they say supporting enterprises, jobs and incomes. This is direct. If we can adapt it in our country, if our country can adapt it, okay, you start something, then the country will say, okay, I'm going to support you. I'm going to give you the individual some kind of support. I'll let the banks finance you and then supervise your job, your activities and all that, and we'll find a way. We don't know if we can do it in our country. But from our little corner, we have to look at this. We need to know this information for decision-making purposes and based on the history of the policies and the budget that has been released by the government over the years, okay? And now we have the implementation of employment retention measures, extend social protection to everyone. The pillar 3, it says protecting workers in the workplace, okay? Strengthen occupational safety and health measures, adapt work arrangements, and then prevent discrimination and exclusion. These things, we don't know how they're going to do it, but it's good for us to know that these things exist and relying on social dialogue for solutions. All right, I'll send a full report there. We can take a look at it when we have time. It will help us to, we need more information to make a decision. All right, now the question is that, do you want to graduate and go home successfully and gain employment in this period? Do you think it's a realistic approach? Or do you want to start something for yourself in this period? Do you think that one is a realistic approach? And then the next question is, somebody will say, oh, okay, you're talking about us trying to set up something and all that, but in China, we have a lot of problems with visa. Oh, how am I going to do something to get visa because I'm a student? Once I graduate, I don't know how I'm going to get visa. How do I do this, right? If you have that question, please, let's move to the second phase of this, okay? Then let's discuss ourselves and then let's throw some questions. And then we answer these questions because I know we have all these questions at the back of our mind. So without much, I think we can open up the questions because we need to bring some questions to drive us to some conversations and then we can expand our knowledge more. So Mr. Safars, are you there?
Yeah, Mr. Fred. Oh,
okay.
Thank you.
So let's, yeah.
Wow, fantastic. That was an awesome presentation. Please, now the floor is open for discussions. If you have any questions or any contributions, the floor is open. So you can just unmute your mic and give out your question or contribution.
Hello?
I hope everyone can hear us.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. So please, if you have any questions or any contributions, you can just unmute your mic and give it out, please.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I just, joined the quite long, just about 10 minutes ago or less, but I hope if I could get a recap, just, a recap, if Mr. Fred could do me such a favor to give a recap of what he discussed earlier. I don't know if that is possible.
Okay, all right. Okay, so basically we were talking about the topic about graduate, ourselves who want to graduate in the near future, maybe 2 or 3 months time, you graduate and you found yourself in a very complicated situation to decide if you should continue to somehow stay, down here in China and then find some kind of economic activity to do just for you to survive, or if you should, go back home, sit down and look for a job, and then when you're lucky, you can do something. Or if you could try to set up something for yourself, okay, related to what you studied, or you can put yourself in a very good position in a company here, okay, irrespective of your color or your language ability. All right. So this is what we are talking about. And then I try to bring out some questions to let us know the reality, because now we have the COVID-19, and COVID-19 has exposed a lot of different weaknesses that we already had, but now the weaknesses is more, it's worse now. Okay, everywhere in the world, and when things happen in the world, you know, in Africa, more especially in Africa, it's always worse in terms of economics. So now we face this very, very strange and uncertain situation where a lot of different things that we had have no control of has come to hit us. And then we focused on how long this situation is going to be like. The realistic thing is that this situation, okay, the economic impact and the recovery period is going to take at least 3 to 4 years, okay, for us to successfully come out of it. Okay, and within this period, what is going to happen is most companies are going to be on a survival basis. They are trying to survive. First, you need to survive. Then, when you survive, then you become sustainable. Then, when you're sustainable, then you can start thinking about growth. So, in the growth period, then the companies can open up to employ more, because in the growth period, they want to open up. They want to, set more branches, set up more offices, bring more people on board, open their production or increase their services. Okay. Now this period is not possible right now. Now everybody has gone back to zero. Everybody is on their knees now, trying to somehow survive through stimulus packages. Now the stimulus packages are also not free. The government give you money to give the company money, not for you to enjoy the money in your pocket. Okay, you're going to pay for it. You pay it back. So every company who is receiving government support or bailout has the obligation to pay back. Okay, so every month the government is the company is paying the money. So in this situation, you can see the reality. They cannot employ new people. It's very, very hard to bring in new workers. So this is the reality. So in this place, we put ourselves, the prospective graduate students, in this situation. What are we going to do? Okay, we find ourselves in this situation. What do? We're going to graduate. How do we deal with this situation? Where do we go about it? Where do we ask? And also, I suggested, I think somebody, and also I suggested that, okay, if you want to go about it, this sounds very, very easy in our ears, but it's also practical. Why don't we expand our social circle? Okay, now our social circle is focused on only ourselves, our friends, our student friends, okay, our peers. We have our friends, maybe my friend in another school, or my friend in my school, or my Chinese friend in my school, or my student. So when you look at your circle, all your social circles, student, friend, and you're all competing for the same thing. Okay, all of you are competing for the same job market. So where's your advantage? There's no advantage here. All right, and we are competing for the same opportunity. Where is the advantage? There's no advantage for you. So why don't you go outside your circle and try to add more? One example that you can do, okay, I suggested that I have tried and I've done over and over again, and it's still working for me, is that go to a common place, social place. In Shanghai, you have the best opportunity to do that. When you go to the center of the city, okay, or you go to anywhere that there's a coffee shop, okay, or anywhere that there is social activity going on, just go there, socialize, open up. You can go there with your tablet or with your computer. You just sit down, you read something, you meet people, you talk to the people. You get to know each other, you get to know what they know. Keep doing that repeatedly. You meet people who are going to open up to you, irrespective of your skin color. Okay, because they only push us only into this situation where we have to be teachers. We have to teach kindergarten, we have to dance for them, we have to do football teaching, we have to do basketball teaching. It is good as a student, because me, myself, when I was a student, I did a lot of these things, different types. But I realized that it's not sustainable. You cannot do it forever, because we want to follow what you read, what you learned in school. So the basic thing is, let's expand our social circle. It's never too late. Okay, we are still here now. The schools, the campuses we have, maybe opportunity to go out of campus maybe twice or once a week or something. We shouldn't use it to stay in our room, watch movies, watch series, and talk to each other and sleep and wake up the next day. Why don't you go out? It's free. It's not expensive. And it will not, cost us anything. It's a risk, yes, but I don't see the risk in this. Okay, it's a risk. Maybe you're trying to open up yourself. You think somebody will look down on you and all that. It doesn't matter. We need something. Why don't you just go for it? So this is what we were talking about. Is that okay? Do you have any question? Hello?
Hello, thanks a lot. I really appreciate the efforts you made in, giving me the recap. I really appreciate that. So if nobody has a question, can I ask a question or make some comments?
Please, yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fred, again. Some of us, we are in China, right? But opportunities in China are a hearsay to some of us. For the fact that some of us live in, some rural areas in China. The opportunities they talk about in China, we really don't see them. We really don't see the opportunities in China. And it's also to the fact that China too is developing and is developing, and some part of it is developing, some part of it is underdeveloped, or some part of it has developed already. So some of us find ourselves to be part at the part that aren't developed yet. Yeah. So my question is, as you are a CEO of a company, and you've mentioned of people trying to set up their own establishments like companies or trying to, join some other firms in China. So in your experience, can you share step by step how people who are interested in that, trying to set up their own companies or trying to also join others, how they can go about it so they could, after completion, they can, or from now they can start making such arrangement following your guidelines. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so I think we don't have, written in stone, step-by-step guideline. Okay, it's we have very, very flexible approach to everything. Okay, and I wouldn't say, okay, one, do this, two, do that, three, do that, four. No, come on, there's so much flexibility going around. But I will advise you in this direction. First of all, okay, you have to, now you have made up your mind. I have to go into this. Okay, you decide exactly what you want to do. So what do I want to go into? Do I want to go into what I'm studying, or do I want to do this kind of business? Is it a service-oriented something? Is it a product-oriented something? You have to decide one of these things, what you want. Once you do that, all you need is that you have to have legal backing, okay? Legal backing, which that's what we call business certificate, okay? Now, to have the business certificate, you're a student, you can't have it yet, but you can prepare yourself and position yourself in a very, very good place just for you to immediately come out of school, get your certificate, and use it to do it, because the Chinese government has passed a law, the entrepreneurial visa law, and most schools have set up the incubation on their campuses, or even the support from the overseas department in the schools, okay, to support this. So this is very easy for you to get the legalities to back you up. You don't need so much money about it, okay? You don't need so much money about it. You just have to set up yourself, know what you want to do, know the team you have, measure your strength. I don't know what your strength is, but you have to measure it, okay? No, okay, this is my strength. Maybe my strength is weaker than what I can do. Okay, why don't I look for collaboration? Why don't I look for my friends, my colleagues that we are in the same circle? Let's discuss it, let's talk about it, okay? Let's see if we can work together and help each other. And I know once you guys discuss it, it sounds like a pipe dream. Okay, when you guys talk about something, what if it's a new idea? The excitement is very high. Don't let the excitement, get into your head and then deceive you, because every idea is good. Nobody brings stupid idea. Everybody has wonderful idea. And all these ideas get into our head and makes us relax. No. All right. Once you have the idea, you have to implement it. Ideas are everywhere. Only those who come out are those who implement the ideas they have. Okay, so you can get this support. You get all your documentations together. I think your school can help you. And schools are proud and happy if their students or alumni are pursuing this kind of thing. They are pursuing entrepreneurial initiative. They are happy to do that. Even if you don't find a school, you can find a coach, somebody who's already doing it to support you with that. And then in China, as you said, I mean, maybe you're in a city where you cannot find this kind of people to help you to do it and all that. You can find even your professor, your what do you call your supervisor, all right? You can discuss with the supervisor. Some supervisors are eager to support you. They'll even introduce you to some companies. Other supervisors don't have time for that. They're not even interested in listening to it, okay? So you can talk to the right ones who can open this up for you. Now, if you feel like you can't find any of these ones who are the right ones for you, that is okay. That's fine. Why don't you talk to people who are from your like, I don't mind. You can talk to me too. That's okay. Because all these things sound like a pipe dream, okay? But pipe dream is not enough. So the first step is to decide exactly what you want. Be very sure about it. And then know your strength. If you can pursue it, we don't want the situation where you start and things are going slow and all that, then you give up, you want to try another, it's like that. I mean, entrepreneurial journey is like that. It's up and down like that. It's never easy, okay? It's never easy. So don't think like the way the idea sounds, that is how your business, or that's how what you want to do is going to be from the set go. No, it will not be like that. You need to fight so hard. You need to go through so much challenges. You need to go through a lot. Yes, and you have to be very persevering to stay in there, never give up. In this your group, I know a gentleman. I know this. It's Sam Kessie. You are quiet. Are you here? I was expecting you to talk. Sam, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm here, bro.
Yeah, Sam. Why are you quiet?
I'm listening. I'm listening, bro.
Sam can share some of his experience, because I see some. I follow some of his posts. Sam is into clothing. Okay, that's his style. It doesn't necessarily mean Sam is studying something related to clothing, but he has a talent in there. All right, and he's starting to build it and all. He's still a student. He's already doing it. Okay, and he's going well. I can see every day he's improving. Some you see, I never comment about your work or your business and all that, but I'm following your business and your work from your page every day. Okay, and Sam is trying to push. He's trying to brand himself. This is perfect. Okay, and I know he didn't have it easy. It's not easy. It's never easy. But the approach he's using, the way he's going, I can see Sam is very persistent. Even through this pandemic, I see Sam is trying to still push his idea, what he's doing every day through his platform. Okay, and then I see he's trying to expand his circle. He's not only focusing on the people that he knows, like his colleagues, students, and all. He's doing it. Sam is a practical person. So we can even ask Sam to share some of his ideas with us. Okay, so Sam, do you want to share some of your ideas with us? Some of your experiences.
Hold on, let me unmute myself. I think you've really given a very good presentation. I've been listening since you started. And as you said, I met you at a NUGS event, and that was how I got to personally meet you. And then
before the NUGS event, I already knew you. You remember when I met you, I told you, Sam, I know you already.
Oh yeah. You told me you had my WeChat, yeah. I think I remember. And the first day that I physically met you, the things that you told me, perseverance, meeting people outside my circle, and it has really helped me. As in, I don't try to mingle with only students. Most of the people that I've actually come into contact with who have helped me here in Shanghai are people outside the student circle. So that advice that you're giving us is very, very positive. It's something that can help each and every one of us here in China to move ahead. And actually, I think just a month ago, I met someone outside the student circle who has been, I should say this year, if I should put it this year, has been the greatest help to me personally, and probably will help me change the direction that I am in now into a higher or a better one. Yeah, and things hasn't been really easy during this COVID-19 for my business here, and then other things that I'm into in Ghana. A lot of things has been at halt, but it's all about perseverance and then staying positive and then trying to talk to people who are up ahead of you, not just in the student circle as you've said. So things are going well. Yeah, it's not as I would have wanted to be, but it is not bad. It is good.
Yes.
So I think that is the little contribution that I can give for now.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Sam. So you can see clearly we have, I mean, practical example right within us. All right. I didn't even know Sam was here. I just moved the whole thing to the side of my side screen, and I saw everybody. Then I saw Sam was here. I said, "Okay, Sam, I already know Sam." You know, sometimes, right? I just follow a lot of people. They don't know I'm just following it, but I'm very, very interested in following your success, because if I know you're moving on, I'm happy to see that. Okay, I know maybe you might have a side something to do, because most people have to somehow survive when you're starting it. I'm not saying that when you have something temporary you cannot do. Yes, you can do, because bills must be paid all the time. But in the end, you have to have the ultimate goal ahead of you. This is not what I'm doing forever. What I want to do for my future is what I'm working on, the project I'm working on. But what I'm doing right now is something temporal, okay, for me to pay bills and move ahead. So this is what will keep you on your toes. And in this COVID-19 period, we've had a lot of problems. You know, Sam is not the only one who felt the effect of this COVID-19. Okay, I have felt it myself, and it's very, very bad. Okay, it's very, very, everything has just gone down. Okay, but it doesn't mean we have to walk away or we have to stop. So the question is, stop and do what? You see, there's no choice. Even if there's another option, I'm telling you, any other option is worse than what option we are already in. Okay, so now we are already students. Okay, and then we want to move to the next stage of our student career. All right, we want to move to the job market. Now, since you're already a student, you're going to the next one. You have to take risk. You have to be able to embrace risk. The next one you are going, you don't have a choice. That's what we have to understand. Because this unemployment situation and this difficult period, economic period that we are going through, sorry, it's not going to end now. This is going to be a continuous process for some time. So let's take the risk, expand our social circle, meet people, talk to them, open up, talk, keep talking. You know, it doesn't come like magic, but once you open up and do these things, all right, now you will see the reality of what is going on in the world. Everything will be open to you. Then these things, you can meet people who share similar ideas with you, who share your dreams with you, even if they don't. And then you like the idea and you want to put your idea on hold and try to help to collaborate with that person. Then later, when you have more experience and the grounding, you can move, okay, on your own feet. You can do that. The only thing is you're trying to fight for your future. You are trying to develop your future. And it's never too late. Now we have 2 months, okay, for graduation, or maybe 1 month, I'm not sure. But within this period, you can still make it count. Telling you, you can still make it count. Open up your social circle. So, Mr. Your name, is it Eneli or Eldini, right? Mr. Eldini, you asked that question. Mr. Eldini, right? Eldini.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
okay, so do we answer your question?
Yeah, perfectly. Well, what it answered, crystal clear. Can I follow up with another question?
Oh, please, go ahead.
Um,
Okay.
this COVID-19, okay.
Okay, Mr. Aldini, Uh, Please give me 1 second, right? I think somebody posted a question, and is it you?
I asked about the reports earlier. When I joined, you're talking about you gonna give out a report that was about labor.
Yeah, and somebody just asked something about meeting people in corporate world and saying that if you say you're a student, then they make you feel embarrassed. Is that you who asked this question?
Nah,
Is
not me.
your question?
No, isn't me.
Okay,
Someone
let's
else
try
did.
to address that one quickly, okay? Because we don't want the questions to come and then it goes up. Okay, let's try to address that one quickly and then let's go. Okay, now let's look at this. Somebody just said that when you try to meet somebody in the corporate circle and then you try to talk to the person, you don't know how to maintain the relationship because the person will say, oh, you're a student, and then the person will feel like, oh, what use do I have for a student? Or student, you are, I don't know what I'm going to get from a student. No, it was through the student period that we got to know people. Okay, now we have a lot of different type of students. We have very mature students who are able to express themselves. You have to express yourself. Don't hide and be shy or embarrassed. You know, what most corporate people or most CEOs look for is confidence and expression. These are very important talents that we look for. Most, CEOs that I've seen, most people in corporate world, they want to look for confidence, okay? And they want to look for people who can express themselves clearly. Don't give ambiguous signals, okay? They want you to be direct, very straight on that. Now, the reason why they want confidence is confidence brings you boldness, okay? You have to be very bold to do something, all right? So now, if you meet somebody and then you try to talk to the person and the person is a corporate person, yes, first he will make you feel intimidated because he said, oh, what's your name? And he said, oh, my name is maybe Mr. Aldini. Oh, Mr. Aldini. Oh, my name is Mr. maybe Frank or Mr. Ben. Mr. Benjamin is here. Mr. Benjamin Bafo. Oh, Mr. Benjamin, I work in what company? Maybe MetLife. I'm the senior manager, something. And I said, oh, how about you? I said, oh, I'm a student from Shanghai. You know, your body language and the way you sound and all that makes you already put yourself in the negative. Okay? Please don't do that. Be confident. The person is not a god. Okay? My name is, then you mentioned Mr. Aldini. I'm from Shanghai University, and I'm currently in my final year of maybe you mentioned a subject, economics. Maybe you're interested in the insurance, or you're interested in the position. You say, oh, I read a little bit about your company, and then I really like what you're doing. You know, you put the person, it's not like you are praising the person. You are showing knowledge, you are showing confidence, and you're also showing that you can maintain conversation, okay? It means you have to also expand your knowledge about the business, about what is going on around the world. You guys can introduce any topic about social, about international affairs, about politics, about business, anything. This is how to maintain the relationship. Then you just realize that you've spoken for about 3 or 4 or 5 hours. You don't even know. Now, when you meet people like that and you talk like that, they like you because you show a lot of knowledge. You're expressing your knowledge, okay? And then now, when you do this and you guys are creating all these talk, okay? These are small talks you create all the time with the person. You talk, you check up on the person. The person will initially not see this, but once you engage the person, naturally he will be or she will be engaged in also trying to get into your mind because like mind attract each other. So it means you're worried. You read about things, you know about things, you follow international affairs. You don't spend all the time watching videos and movies. You spend to expand the knowledge base. All right, read a lot, know a lot, and you can talk about it. You can discuss anything when they put it at you. And this is what they want. Everywhere you show this, maybe this person, you are not lucky because the person is so busy and I don't think the person is trying to shine you. Yeah, keep pushing, okay? All right? Sometimes the person may not initially not have so much interest in you. It doesn't mean you should look down yourself and walk away and then put your head down. No, you have to keep pushing. This is how it goes. You don't get it very easy. Nobody gets things easy. Mr. Sam told us about somebody he met recently. I don't think he met the person easily. Or even if he met the person easily, the person did not just jump the first day, second day, fourth day, just like that to try to, help him or to try to get to know him more. He expressed deeper understanding and he exhibited that he has knowledge. He showed confidence. He showed his handiworks. He showed what he can do, what he can offer. And he showed a lot of interest in what the person is doing. And this is how to get you. Okay? So let's just expand our knowledge. Students, naturally, they expect that we should know a lot because we are students. Okay? Because we have a lot of time to read, to know more. But these days, students don't read more. They rather watch a lot of movies and series and relax and eat a lot and, sleep a lot. So this is what they want. If you show knowledge, you show that you can express yourself and all that. This gets you to a whole different platform. And through them, they can invite you to be other friends. You see, now you are going deeper into the circle. You're going deeper and deeper. And this is good. So, Mr. Dini, you can ask your question. Okay, somebody said, being a student in the sense that you're not ready to be absorbed into corporate work, even though you are smart like about it. No, you can be absorbed. I told you in my final year, when I was reading my MBA, my final year, I was already absorbed in my final year. I actually worked for 1 year before I graduated and I joined. I think Mr. Mr. Benjamin knows about it. I met him during the time that I was trying to do this thing. I was actually absorbed inside there. You're ready to be absorbed in the corporate world, even though you are smart. Okay, I was actually absorbed through that. So being a student doesn't mean that they will see that you're not ready. No, they are not interested in your knowledge. They're interested in your insightfulness. And they even want to push you to graduate faster, okay, and join. This is how it works. Because, once you show you are useful to them, they'll go all ways to also support you. And this is what happens, okay? So Mr. Dini, please, you can ask your question now. And Mr. Benjamin can also tell us more later. I know Mr. Benjamin has a lot to share with us. Mr. Dini, please go ahead.
Okay, thanks a lot. But before I ask the question, I just want to make a comment. When I was coming to China in 2017, I met a man on the flight, and the first advice he gave me was, when I come to China, I should try to socialize with a lot of people, that a lot of opportunities come out from that. That was what he really told me. And I think it's the same thing you are saying. That man, he was also an entrepreneur. He went to Ghana to establish a company, and he was on his way back to China. Yeah, and he made that to me. He told me that. Okay, so my question is this: coronavirus has come and it has given us challenges, and I'm also thinking that there are some kind of opportunities in it, especially for the African continent, we Africans. I think I'm seeing some kind of opportunities in it. Like now, you said the world is affected. The whole world is affected, and to take like maybe 3 years for everybody to recover, if I had that right. Like it would take 3 years for the world to recover from that. Is it not an opportunity for young Africans to come together to start putting up some companies to solve some problems within the African continent? That's my question.
Yes, thank you. I 100% totally agree with you. This is a big opportunity for us here, all right? For the students here, you are in the best place in the world you should be in this very moment. You are in the best place. You are strategically positioned, the right time, the right place for you to get exactly what is prepared in front of you. Because now, let's look at this. For the last 5 years, okay, the economic struggle, what is going on in the world has been fought, okay? They are now scrambling for the resources, the cooperation, and the partnership of the African continent. They are always focusing on that. Now, let's look at what happened last year. Last year, Russia organized its first Africa-Russian Economic Forum. I believe most of us know about it, right? Now, during this forum, Russia is now expressing interest in investing in Africa. Russia has never expressed interest in investing in Africa. But last year, they did. Now, the British government did the same thing. Okay? The UK government, last year, July. No. Yes, July. Is it July? I think so, July. Organized the UK Africa Economic Forum, invited all the African, head of states and the economic ministers and the trade people and all that the companies came together, tried to sign some agreement and partnership and all these things. Okay. Do you know why? The reason is that now Africa is the most attractive business environment in the world. Europe is saturated. North America is saturated. Okay. China is saturated. Now, China is the biggest investor in Africa. 1, 2, China is the only country that has invested and developed so much infrastructure in Africa. 3, China is the only country in the world that is actually having partnership with mutual benefit for Africans. Previously, all right, the investments we get from other countries, okay, into Africa was in the form of FDI. Okay, what they do is that they have agreements with our government. They give us money, aid. All right. Now the aid money is not sustainable. We just spend it in a year, and then we give them a lot of, our raw resources like gold, cocoa, and timber, whatever. We carry it, give it to them. They develop and process, add value, sell it back to us. So the money they gave us, they take it back because they sell it to us in dollars. All right. Now, in this period, China actually is interested in building infrastructure. Okay, in Nigeria, they built their metro system for them. They are now building this island, like the Dubai Island there. Okay, when you go to Kenya, a lot of development projects going on there. Djibouti has been developed fully. Djibouti, when you go there now. When you go to Ethiopia economy has been developed so much. The infrastructure, they have a tram now. They have a lot of different things. The airport. When you go to Zambia, they say Zambia is little China. Okay, they are developing it. Yes, we have political problems, okay, with this, but we are looking at only the side of economic. When you look at the side of economics, okay, the partnership we are having with the Chinese government and the partnership we had with the Europeans for over 200 years, okay, with us, the Africans, getting nothing out of it. When you go to Africa, how can we have this colonial relationship with the Europeans or with the North Americans or whoever for over 200 years and we have nothing to show? There's no evidence to show, maybe a railway line or distant. But the last 30 years, the last 3 decades, relationship with Africa from the Chinese people, we can show a lot of infrastructure, okay? Now, this is why they are trying to compete. And this is good for us, the students now, as the entrepreneurs who are trying to develop ourselves. We are positioned right now in a very strategic way to take advantage. We don't need to go and sit somewhere one day and say that, oh, these people are stealing our this, they are doing that. Why didn't we get in there early? We saw it started early in 2020. We're in 2025. All we do is talk and criticize. We should be the drivers of this because we are here in the system. We understand the system. We know how it goes. So what are we waiting for? We should get in there. We should be part of it. Part of the contract because we understand the culture. We should be part of the agreement because we know what is going on. Our government needs advice. We can set up a consultancy business, all right, and do this. We can help other companies to set up. We can do the pestle analysis tools and all that to help companies to adapt to local environment. We can do a lot of these things, okay? So I agree with you perfectly. This is the time for us to try to get in there. Okay, and we are graduating now. We have a lot of experience. We understand the culture and all that. What are we waiting for? We don't need training. We don't need to be trained to understand the Chinese culture. We don't need to be trained to understand the business environment. We know it. Okay, so we use what we studied to come together, form an alliance, open our social circle to set something up, and then now push. It sounds like a pipe dream or impossible, but it's not actually. When you open up your system, you see things are moving slowly. But please remember, it's never easy. You just have to be very, very aggressive because that's how business is. So please, any more questions? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
From my
Yeah.
end, I have no question again. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I
Okay.
have a question.
All right, please go.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ankuma. That is a very great presentation, and I'm much grateful for having time with us. My question is, as a student who have a business idea or even having a business going on, when you meet these prominent people, is it necessary to pitch your business idea to them?
Well, meeting prominent people, you have to define what prominent is. In terms of prominent in business or prominent in like popular person, famous person and all.
Sure. Prominent in business.
Okay. Now, secondly, you need to look if the two of your interests align. Okay. So gone in the days that people have to, when you want to do business, somebody will say, oh, put your business plan on paper, bring it to me, let me take a look at it. And then I will decide how we are going to find. No, that period is over. Okay. Now, anybody can take initiative. Everybody can do that. You can take initiative too. All right. So why do you have to just jump in? Just give all the idea to the person, okay, and expect the person will happily want to back it up. Now, when you do that, initially, you're throwing away your innovation. First, make sure the two of you, your interests align. Okay, your interests must align. You must trust and like each other. You must express interest in trying to do something together. You must not present it as I'm bringing help me to go and do. No. Or I'm bringing this idea, help me or give me money to go and do. That kind of, pitching or idea is past. It's in the olden time that people do that. But now everybody knows that any idea that is feasible, that you can use, that idea can grow to become $1 billion idea. All right. So everybody wants to be together. So why don't you express it in a way that you really want to be together, work together, or you want the person to give you a shot at this, okay? Not try to take my idea, give me money, let me go and do it. No, nobody will do that now. These days, nobody does that. This is in the olden days, people were thinking like that. Then you can be say, oh, I gave my business plan to this, but they didn't mind me or not. Yes, of course. Nobody was going to listen to it because that period is over. You understand my point? You should try to express being together, working together, being partners. Your interests must align, okay? Then you guys can like each other and work together. Okay? Is that okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay, any more questions?
Yeah, hello?
Okay, hello.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Amoakun, for your presentation. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's really an in-depth one, and we've learned a lot from that. So, in your presentation about this whole COVID-19 brouhaha thing, you made mention of the African pride.
Mm-hmm.
That most of, like you said, there are some. If you look at the white, which is right. If you look at the white, especially those from the western side, here in China, most of them are from the high school leavers. The topmost is maybe I would say undergrad, but most of we Africans here, most of us are master's, PhD, and then some are still in postdoc, and then still are doing the postdocs, and yeah. So, but then coming to that point that says the African pride. For me, I believe it's not necessarily the African pride, because if you look at our economic structure back home, it's it's one of the main factor. That is why most people are done with their educations and everything here, and they are still here in China. Especially, let's look at the economy, which is driven by a connection to government, a connection to somebody you know before you get this job, before you get this opportunity. And comparing it to countries like the US and the UK's, where these are driven by effort, you know, like driven by competent people. Yeah, I mean, it's like the most highest people, or the most with the highest IQ will rise to the topmost people, like building a business from scratch and standing it up, just because their system rewards those efforts. Okay, but then when you come to Ghana, our system don't reward that effort. It's mostly, if you look at the top, like right now, if you Google the top 10 richest people, the top 10 or yeah, let me say the top 10 richest people, or top 15, 20, all you see is people in government. So for me, I think most of us, we are afraid, which it shouldn't be that. We are afraid to go back home based on all these things. I've met some big men, should I say? Yeah, big men, as in not big men in Ghana, but this year doing business. Just, I mean, like yourself. And then when you talk with them, like, most of them have these ideas. They have a lot of ideas, but then thinking of going back to start. The problem is, like you said, here in China, we don't need that much capital to start a business. But when we go back to where we come from, we need a capital. Even before you open a company, the process you go through and all those things, by the time you finish, half of your money you send back home is gone. So, coming from all these, what from your view, what is the advice that you will give to the African brother who don't want to stay here in China and open his business, or stay here and do whatever business, but want to go back home, start from scratch, and become like you? So I'm talking of not here in China, but then starting everything at home. What would be your advice?
Okay, all right. My advice is actually let me make some corrections here before we continue. Now, when I was talking about African pride, I was talking in terms of we trying to maintain our status. Okay, now for instance, that we have a lot of people who focus on only one side of the business, of trying to do some mega things to survive. All right, that is very good. As students, we need to survive. We need to do a lot of things, whatever is necessary. That is not illegal. Okay, that is not illegal to survive. All right, but when you go through it, you can see that there are a lot of discrimination going around. But when you rub shoulders, you compare yourself with other people you're working, you say, come on, these guys, they can do better than them. Why am I looking down upon? Okay, now it's about time that we try to raise, okay, our image. Let me put it that way, okay, because the African continent is known as the lion, okay? So the lion's most powerful tool is the pride. So that's why we say a pride of lions, okay? That gives us the strength, and we have the mental strength. We have the physical strength. We must be the best because we have all these things. We have the best resources, okay? So this is what I'm trying to push on, okay? We must see ourselves better than what we are now. Okay, sure. But it's okay. It takes time. Maybe it may not happen in my generation or your generation. Maybe our children and children's children will see it happen. And then more focusing on your question too. Yes, when we set up companies, or when we set up business, or when we set up something doing here, we don't focus on only here. For example, if you want to go back home to do it, you know at home we require a lot of resources just to do something. Okay, and then you cannot easily have support of the banks or support of different people. Maybe you have a rich family, they can support you, or you have somebody who really believes in your idea and has the resources to back you up. This is excellent. But if this cannot happen to you, you can also explore a lot of partnership opportunities, because I know a lot of different companies around here want to recruit local people from here. Okay, when I was in business school, before I graduated, I had a colleague who was from Pakistan. Okay, now this colleague, when we graduated, before we graduated, he had a relationship with a company in, what do you call it? In Zambia. I want to show you, he's here. And then he is not an African, okay? He is a Pakistani. A lot of Africans were approached and presented the opportunity to go and work there and represent this company there locally in Zambia. They were not interested because initially the pay was very bad. The money they were going to pay them was very bad. But this guy believed in the idea. He's now working with what do you call it? This company, Lion King company. Okay. Now I talk to him every day. You can see his WeChat. We're just chatting right now. He's here. He's called Wahid. He's now the country manager of this company. Okay. And then through him, we also get to do a lot of things. Okay. I can show him right now. He's now online right now. He was trying to pitch an idea to me right now, and we're talking about it. Now, this guy, he's a Pakistani who was ready to go there to adapt. Okay. And then he has adapted perfectly. He's not an African, but he lives in Zambia now. And then he was able to develop the business there. And now their businesses there is going so good. Now they are planning to open another branch in West Africa somewhere. They think about Ghana, they are thinking about Nigeria, they are thinking about Cote d'Ivoire. So he's asking me a lot he wants me to help him to set it up because they put this on his shoulder. All the resources are ready for him and all these things. So we are still talking, trying to find a way how they can adapt their product. And they deal in machinery. Okay, now we know currently Ghana has banned importation of excavators on this heavy equipment because of the mining. All right, so we have to try to get some kind of clearance note or something, and you have to prove exactly what these machines are going to do. You give the code, the government can track it when they come in and all these things. He wants to set up an office there, like what CAT has done. They want to open up a market there. So this is one opportunity you can. If you can have a partner who wants to set up there, you can have a partnership with them. So far as your interests align, always look out for your interests. Make sure your interests align with this potential partner. If that requirement is met, then you'll be very happy to do business with them. You understand the point? If you don't, it shouldn't be one-sided. Your interests must align, and you must be willing to sacrifice a lot because nothing comes easy. So if your interests align, because a lot of companies are trying to do this, and then we know realistically, it's almost close to impossible for you to go home and say, okay, I just graduated from China. I've come home. I want to start a business. Oh, bank A, bank B, bank C. Give me money. Let me start and I'll pay you in this and I'll give you this amount of money every month and look at my business plan and paper and all that. Nobody cares about business plan now. Business plans are just on paper. A company, so many companies don't even have business plans. I can give you about 3 or 4 companies. I don't want to mention their names, but they are very big companies here. Okay, they don't have a business model. They don't have a direct revenue channel, but they are making it. Yes, nobody wants to see your paper. It's just a paper. Now people want more practical stuff. This is how the business world has gone to. You understand? So look at it that way, because realistically, going to tell the bank, give me money, let me open up my company. I mean, it's not going to happen in Ghana unless you are the son of maybe the bank owner or the president. So yeah, it's close to impossible to do that. All right. So I really wish that we can look at it from this way.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. And I want Mr. Benjamin, I really want to hear from you. Mr. Benjamin Befo. Mr. Benjamin. Hello.
Oh, yes, sir. How are you, sir? Good evening.
I'm good, sir. Hi, good evening. Mr. Benjamin has a lot of experience. Please share something with us. I was waiting to hear from you, Mr. Benjamin.
Well, I can say that you're really hitting the point. I must congratulate you for sharing your vast experience. It's not an easy thing. I mean, struggling here, it's really a tough time. And what I can say, you've really said it, especially if you don't reach out, you never know. That's why I like to really base this on the normal scriptures. It just says that lack of knowledge, my people perish. You get it? All you, their information flowing. Without you tapping into it by just asking. People are always there to ask. People are always there to assist you if you approach. People will never know what you have, what you know until you do it. But as you rightly said with caution, before you go, do your homework first.
Yes, that's true. That is very, very true.
Because people always people always like to know that you are also committed to what you're doing and the actions that you are looking for. You get it?
Yes.
So
Yes.
in as much as we're about to migrate, yes, I'm not working now, but what I can see is that there are so many people out there who want to push you. Sometimes our attitude, our personality also plays a role that we don't allow people to get close. But I tell you, the world out there, as you said, it is a wild world. And if you want to survive, no one will be there to support you. You have to find innovative ways by using the right ways, using the right ethics as well. But people also need people who are honest. Leaders always say this every time. They need people who are honest, trustworthy, people they can rely on. Not saying that we are all perfect, but if they can see such attitude in someone who is forceful, you've rightly said it. I think Sam also and the rest of us have rightly said it, right? So it all depends on you, the individual, what you're looking for, how you want it, and where you think you're going. The resources at your own disposal. A wise man always say, the frightening word in the world is the word fear.
Yeah, and the
You
unknown.
Yes, you should not be afraid of unknown. It's already there already. But when you venture into it, a whole new world of knowledge is open to you. So I would like to encourage, as you've rightly said, let's do our best. Ask people. Yes, sometimes we feel shy, but we open ourselves, we'll get it. Try, make mistake, and then you gain experience. Experience is practice, right? You never have it, but you keep practicing. So I'm really grateful for this wonderful opportunity that we can all learn from you and the other seniors. And I think everyone around here, everyone has something to share. Don't hesitate to share. If you spot someone has some talents that you think can be very beneficial, help the person, give the person advice. You never know, the person would use that same advice you gave that person, process it, and give you an advanced version of what you give and what you not even imagine it. And I'm sure we can help each other. Let's build each other up. Thank you, sir.
No,
That's all I
thank
want
you
to say.
so much, Mr. Mr. Bafo. Mr. Bafo, we have to meet because it's been a long time. Now, if the things ease up, we have to meet somewhere and sit down and we talk, you know? Yeah, you just told me right. I mean, we want to do something, right? We all want to do something and help.
Sure, we would.
We have to meet up. I already have your WeChat, so well, let's set it up, right? We need to meet
I have
up.
a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so sir, oftentimes we are talking about the fact that our government is not creating the opportunities for some of us here to when we graduate, the opportunities we get to practice whatever we've learned over here. Oftentimes we talk about the fact that the government is not creating these opportunities and other stuff. My question is, individually, do you encourage us that we take the risk if you have this business idea that we think is good to set up something back home? Do you encourage us to take the risk to go and do that. And the second question is, people like you, looking at your profile and all what it was said about you, look at this massive thing you are doing here. How do you send this opportunity back home so that people like us, when we go back home, we can also have the opportunity to do something?
Okay, thank you very much. And then let me try to make some small adjustment here. Okay. Now, when we say people like this, people like that, that's classification. Okay. We don't want to classify anybody. All right. We are all trying to, open up like.
Okay,
all,
I mean graduate
right?
student.
Yes.
After
So
graduation.
yes. You know, we are trying so hard because from the beginning I was saying something like, the idea is not in one person's head. It's a big jigsaw, and everybody has a piece of the puzzle that we put it in, we put in. People have a lot of different ideas. We have to put in to make a complete picture. Okay, so nobody has everything in their head. Somebody will share a bit of experience, another person will share the other side of the experience, we put together, and it becomes something complete. Okay, so this is how we look at it. Now, your first question you asked about, if you have this idea, you want to set it back home, should you take the risk? I will highly encourage it that yes, you should. Do you know why? Because in this period, okay, it's highly impossible for you not to take risk. Okay, now the risk, the question right here is that the risk you're going to take, is it going to help to define your future or not? Because let's look at the reality of the situation now. If you have the idea and you don't want to try it home, you want to rather go home and go and start looking for different jobs, okay? Looking for different jobs is effortless. All you need to do is to apply in different sections, okay? You write your CV, you post it, or you email it, or you send it different. It's effortless, okay? Now, the second thing is trying to put effort in something to build on your own, okay? Now, this is the risk, but once you put in and you bleed into what you're doing, or you sweat into it, okay, you will not let it go down. You will not give it up easily. Now, this is the risk factor because you are already inside. And the job market is going to be very, very, very harsh now. Excuse me to say. It's going to be extremely harsh and hard for people to land their dream jobs. So why don't you take the risk already? Because you're already inside. You didn't have a choice. COVID-19 has put you in this situation. Already, the job market was very, very hard, okay, for people to get access into it. And now this pandemic has made it almost impossible. So the risk, you're already in the risk. So why don't you just do it? You understand my point? You're already inside. You're already cornered. So you need to try. You do it. Don't give up because you're sweating into it. You're bleeding into it. You don't give it up easily and go and try something. You put yourself inside. And then your second question is that you asked me what we are doing to help to set it up. Set this business back home. Now, this is what we are doing. Now, in April of this year, from the beginning of January, we had a plan for the year that by April of this year, we want to set up branches in Ghana, okay? Our target was 2 branches. One will be at the Temaport, the other one will be at the Takoradi, okay? And I had a partnership with Logitrain, the company they call Logitrain. I don't know, those in Tama, they should know this company. It's a very, very big company, Logitrain. Now, Logitrain is also interested to partner us, and then we also had an agreement with their bankers, the GT Bank, okay? Now we are going to use Logitrain. Now, this will help us to make our presence locally secure. So Logitrain will take the local part of our business, and we'll do the other part of our business from here. And then we have this collaboration. Okay, then we discuss the details of the percentages and the revenues and all that. And through this, Logitrain will host us. Okay, when they host us, we share the cost of the expenditure in terms of our assets and utilities. And then with that too, we have to employ people to work. This is another way of helping our people. All right, but we could not go to Ghana in April because of this pandemic. because nobody wants to go and be quarantined for 14 days and then come back and be quarantined again for 14 days. And then finally the opportunity closed. Now nobody can go at all. All right. So this is what happened. So now it has become like we need to push it up. From the beginning, I said that this pandemic has really affected us. We were trying to expand and grow. We were trying to find a way. Now the whole thing has just gone down. Like now we don't know when this can happen. And then we promise our customers, oh, this year we're going to have a local presence. We're going to, expand our engagement. We're going to have a long-term deal and all these things, because local presence creates security, and then tracking, trust, and everything. All these things is going to happen, and we're going to give better services, and we're going to expand our resources. Now they can have it. So if they can't have it, the business is going to be slim. Okay, but we believe that finally things are going to open up, and that we can do this. And once we do it, we believe that later on we will have a growth. So now we are both on a survival mode, trying to get things going and all these things. But we are confident all the time because we have bled into it, we've sweat into it. We can just walk away. You see, so that's the answer. Please, any more?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, please. We can hear you.
Yeah. Please, my name is Gilbert also free.
Okay,
I'm a student at Shanghai Ocean University. Thank you very much, Mr. Fred, for this insightful presentation. And then also I would like to thank the NUGS Shanghai executive for this opportunity for us all to meet and have this intellectual, meeting. I mean, this comes once in a blue moon, but yeah, it's really, really important that we have these discussions, routinely. Again, now I'll go forward to my question.
Okay.
Mr. Fred, it's a personal question to you, and please, may I know which business that you are into so that I can follow up with my question?
Okay, well, let me share my Okay, I just shared my business website on the group. Now, I'm into different parts, different types of business. The first part is service oriented. Okay, now what we do is focus on consultancy services for different local companies who want to open up. All right. Now, when you want to open up and go to a new place, you need to adapt. You need to find a way to fix yourself and adapt, and then try to adapt your product to the local companies, local environment, and be able to settle in, and the human resource part of it. That's the first part. The second part is we are a sourcing company. And then through the sourcing, we have our relationship with the Shanghai Chamber of Commerce, because I'm a member of the Shanghai Chamber of Commerce, and then the Huangpu Free Trade Zone. And then currently with that one, we have over 8,000 of the companies and manufacturers right down here that we have direct partnership with them, okay, to be able to source different businesses and different companies to be able to expand, okay, and then supply consistently. What they want is safety and consistently. We don't want delays and inefficiency in terms of getting the supplies they need. And it means that with this relationship, we can also, some technical goods like machinery and all these things, we can bring up our overseas partners to meet directly with the local partners here. We can invite them directly to come. We organize them, and then they can check out whatever they want to buy, check out the technical part of it, because we are not the technical experts of certain products. For example, they need some machine, they need some parts, and they have some technical little part they need. They are experts to come and check and make sure they have the right thing, all right? Then we can do that. And then we put them together, check everything is okay. Then we'll ensure they have exactly what they want. So their interest is our responsibility. So this is another part of it. The other side of it is we look at trying to bring what we have. We have other companies locally, or we have other producers locally who are interested in overseas markets, in the Asia Pacific market, who want to bring things here, goods here, okay? As I said earlier on, most of the things that we have, we send raw product, okay, to Europe or whatever, process and bring it back to us. Now we have some companies who have expressed overseas expansion. They are in Ghana. They've expressed overseas expansion. So these ones, we have the slots. We have about 100 slots in the China Import-Export exhibition that we do every year. This year, we've received emails, I mean, that they are planning to do it maybe between October and November, but things keep changing. Just like the Canton Fair, they send it virtually. The Alibaba International Fair, the exhibition that we did it on augmented reality. Okay, we didn't do it physically. So, I mean, now when we have a fixed time, then we can bring them because we want to introduce them here and we'll be their legal representative local here in the local market here. And then we give them, we expose their product or what they can do to the local market. And the local market is not just focused on China. Okay, because during this exhibition, we have over 500,000 participants from all the Asia Pacific region, from Japan, Korea, I mean, Vietnam, Hong Kong, all of them. We have people from North America, Canada, all of them come. All right. And then this is where you show what you got. And then we have technology, people show their technology, you know, just like the CE, the one they do in Los Angeles, the CE, I mean, exhibition they do. So this is what we do. This is one part of it. And then we pray that by God's grace, we can have others to open up and see. Okay, please go ahead.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of things that you are doing, and I'm sure they are all equally important. Forming, you being a bridge, you know, to all these manufacturing companies and then to the overseas companies as well. And so my question basically is, as a form of advice or suggestion, which areas of business have you identified to be a field that's worth, you know, venturing into? You know, if you are advising us as students and, you know, we are ready to, you know, take up, you know, the mantle of business, we are hungry, we're going out there and all that, which areas would you advise? You know, there's one aspect where we have our own, you know, ideas that we want to bring up, but to you, as somebody who is already in a field, which area or areas would you, you know, advise or suggest that, you know, we can look at and probably, you know, channel our energies in? Thank you.
Thank you. But to advise you on specific areas that you want to look at, it will be very naive of me because each individual have their own strengths and interest. Okay, I believe that with interest, then you can go as far as your body can take you and your strength can take you. Because if I advise you, okay, go into this may be somebody else's strength, but it will not be your strength. Okay, maybe you are more skilled and you have more interest in something else. Okay, so it will depend on the individual's interest and then what you want to do. Okay, so you have to first discover yourself. It's all about discovering yourself. Okay, but don't let anybody push you into something and then you take it up, then you put a lot of effort in it, then some few years down the line you realize, oh, this is not exactly what I wanted to do. Now I need to find what I want to do and go back and start again. This is not good. First, you need to identify yourself. And this period, I think you can identify yourself by looking within you. All right, when you look inside you, you know exactly what your interests are. Because I always say that look at yourself, look at your interests, and then if you want to have a partner, see if your interests align, you should have the same conversation. If it aligns, okay, then the person is the right fit for you. You can go as far as possible. But if your interest is not discovered or your strength is not discovered, it is it's almost impossible to identify exactly what you want to do. Okay, so don't let people push what they want to you or what they think is the best or what they think is the profitable or whatever. We have a variety of things. So look at your interest. Okay, everything is profitable. It all depends on packaging, how you package it, how you model it, what kind of revenue channel or revenue ideas you can attach to whatever it is. You know, a lot of people do a lot of things and make revenue out of it. Look at these TV shows. People do a lot of live shows. Look at for example, the Ghanaian show. People just watch their lifestyle. They shop, they eat, they laugh, they talk to people. People pay a lot of money for that. Okay, they looked at their interest and they packaged it. They marketed it and it became a model and they made millions from it. Okay, this is just one example. Other people also develop different things. I'm just giving some examples. So look at your idea, your strength. Okay, then you focus on that one. Don't let people push on you what you should do or where you should go. Is that okay?
Right. Thank you very much for that answer. Thank you.
You're welcome. So do we have any more?
Okay, I think we'll just take the last question from Sam, then
Okay.
we just go to everything.
Oh, it's actually not a question, but just a
Okay.
suggestion.
Okay, no
It's not a
problem.
question. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to say that for the graduates or for people that are looking for opportunities and then jobs and work and everything, you should just ignore the requirements and then apply. Yeah. Sometimes you don't necessarily need to stick to the requirements or the protocols that they are given. Like they're saying, we need this person, that person. Just give it a shot and then take that risk. It can land you somewhere. You never know. Yeah. So that is what I want to add. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Sam. Okay, any more?
Okay, I think that was the last one. That was the last question or suggestion that we took. So we want to thank you, Mr. Fred. We want to thank you for your presentation. It was such an awesome time. I will just leave the floor to Degraft.
Hello.
Yeah, Degraft, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
Sabas. Okay. Mr. Fred, we are most grateful for you taking time out of your busy schedules. I know you are really a busy person, but for you to have had time to come and talk with us, we are most grateful. Secondly, we are most grateful to everyone present here, most especially Collins of the technical department of NUGS-CHINA. And we are most grateful to everyone who came to support this program. Those in Shanghai and then members even not in Shanghai. I am personally impacted with everything that you've lectured today. I'm encouraged as well, like you've given us a reason to be courageous and see the positives in staying here in Shanghai or taking advantage of the opportunities available to us. We are most grateful and we hope that when called upon, okay, let me also use this opportunity to say a big thank you to personalities such as Benjamin Bafo, my honorable man, and our own president, Cephas, for making this program become fruitful. Secondly, to our Wukong, who has been very proactive in organizing such amazing programs such as this one. We hope that this wouldn't be the last of it, but we'll get to have such interesting and interactive program in coming days. So with this being said, I would like to thank all of you for making this program a success. Thank you guys and good night.
Thank you so much for welcoming me, and then also I've gotten a lot of information from you. Trust me, I've learned a lot from everybody, and I always love to learn, and I hope we can all learn from each other and meet, whenever we can. So let's have a very good night, and then we can meet again soon. Okay.
I think since we started with a prayer, I think it'll be cool if we end with a prayer. So from the Muslim side, if we can get someone to help us with a prayer, a closing prayer. Wow. Okay. All right. Let me just pray and let me just pray then. Father, we thank you for a successful discussion. Help us, grant us more insight. Even as we graduate and while prepared to graduate, grant us more insight to the next step that we need to take in our career. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very
So
much.
thank you
Amen.
for joining. Thank you much for joining. I really appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.